It's 1945, World War II, a ruined Europe, and a world that had just collapsed. A new model of warfare, quieter, a much more dangerous war, more insidious, and with more destructive potential, codename Cold War. This time, it was not bullets that spoke, but threats. America and the Soviets stood shoulder to shoulder against the Nazis. But as Hitler disappeared from the stage of history, this friendship turned into enmity. The US liberated Europe economically with the Marshall Plan. The Soviets liberated Eastern Europe with tanks. Winston Churchill said, "An iron curtain has descended over Europe." The first clash, Berlin. In 1948, the Soviets blockaded West Berlin. Over the course of 11 months, America delivered 200,000 airlifts. It was the largest peacetime air operation in history, the real front of the Cold War, the canopy. In the 1950s, Soviet agent Rudolf Abel ran a photography studio in New York, but behind the scenes, he was carrying state secrets. When America caught him, the two countries exchanged agents. The meeting place, Bridge of Spies, in Berlin. And then, the most dangerous moment came, the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 1962, the Soviets installed nuclear missiles in Cuba. America reacted seriously. For 13 days, the world literally held its breath on the brink of nuclear war. But at that time, Soviet submarine commander Vasily Arkhipov said no to the order to launch a nuclear attack. Here is a man they call an unsung hero. The Cold War was not only a war of threats, it was also a race. In 1957, the Soviets launched the Sputnik satellite. America was stunned and immediately began a breakthrough in space. Hollywood sold freedom with hero movies. Soviet cinema slammed capitalism. They started a race of perception and psychological games to impose their ideology on the world. Even the Olympics became a front. In 1980, America boycotted Moscow. In 1984, the Soviets boycotted Los Angeles. And the date is 1985. The Soviet Union was a giant wreck. The economy could not breathe. People were spending hours in queues. At that very moment, a young leader appeared on the scene, the name of hope, Mikhail Gorbachev. The system was no longer sustainable. Gorbachev started the revolution with two words, glasnost, transparency, perestroika, restructuring. But these reforms were too late, because the Soviet Union was collapsing not only economically, but also ideologically. Information now knew no borders. People were learning about life in the West. And finally, in 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. Overnight, not just a concrete wall, but iron curtains, ideological chains, propaganda towers came down. This was not the silent cry of the Cold War. It was the silent cry of an empire. The Cold War. Not cannons, not tanks, but ideas clashed. But the world experienced perhaps the greatest fear in the greatest silence. At the push of a button, the world could be destroyed. That is why this war was the quietest but most dangerous chess game in history. The world learned that day. Peace is sometimes the name of the quietest war. Have you ever questioned the rights to life of the people who stood against or did not adopt these two views while trying to impose these ideas on the world? This war, which lasted from 1947 to 1991, perhaps poisoned the lives of the people living at that time. Please question this with empathy. As History of Nations, we present not only the narrated, but also the hidden and degenerated aspects of history to you, our valuable history lovers, with a questioning perspective within the framework of logic. The future is only shaped in the hands of those who understand the past. Subscribe for such videos and share your thoughts with us below, and let's exchange ideas together. Thanks.